Hello, I'm Mark. I'm a retired embedded systems engineer, freelancing as a copy editor involved with audiobooks, and lately the developer and programmer of WaveParse, a set of plugins for Audacity. If you've ever struggled to hit ACX standards without inducing artifacts and destroying the dynamic range and spectrum with available tools, WaveParse is for you. In this first WaveParse video, I'm going to show you the core functions of WaveParse in real time. No video editing. I've got a clock running to show continuity. These titles are not edited in either. Let me get rid of them. This public domain track does not meet ACX standards. It has other problems too. Not serious, just the standard clicks, smacks, and plosives that might be dealt with. But all we're doing now is the core workflow of WaveParse. ACX check shows the track failing on all three counts. The peaks reach 0 dB. The track shows an RMS around -15, which should be somewhere around -20, and the floors around -57, wanting -60 or less, but not too quiet. If we could magically merely use volume controls, we would like to turn the peaks down 3 dB. The mid down by around 6 dB, and the floor down between 2 and 3 dB. Well, WaveParse lets us do that. With WaveParse, the basic idea is that we split the track into 3 new tracks, one with peaks, one with mid, and one with floor. Then we adjust each of them separately and mix them together to restore the original track, but now ACX compliant. We'll start with peaks. Make a duplicate track with Ctrl-D, select it, and run Locate Peaks, which is under Effect WaveParse. It defaults to -3 dB and other generally good settings, topics for another video, but a slight adjustment will reveal the high precision available. For this track at these settings, this takes about 6 seconds to locate and list the 8,000 plus offending peaks. In this locate run, the track does not change, but by applying Analyze WaveParse Label Peaks, we turn that list into a label track for the peaks. Then Show Peaks does the reveal. There they are, every peak that rises above the -3 dB limit. Let me take a moment to zoom in and show you a very important feature of WaveParse. The separation of peaks, mid, and floor is made precisely at zero crossings. The changes of gain and the ultimate remix will be mathematically sound. Next, we'll pull out the floor. We make another duplicate and run Locate Floor.
Mark made a claim about 6 seconds while the video shows about 12. The competing video capture and disk access has slowed Audacity and WaveParse.
As before, Label Floor shows that something was done, and Show Floor reveals. Of course, the floor is way down. Let me zoom it to visibility. In one more duplicate of the original track, run Show Mid and then Label Mid. This is the mid part of the audio.
Mark has also failed to mention that WaveParse is free and will be put into the public domain under a Creative Commons license when completed.
Zooming in again, we see that mid is what is left after the peaks and floor are removed. Now we can get down to business. Select the peaks track and use Amplify to turn it down 3 dB. Select the floor track and turn it down 2.64 dB. Last, select the mid and turn it down 5.33 dB. These were our first guesses based on ACX check. Iteration to reach perfection is possible and permitted. The final step is to select all 3 tracks and mix them into a final ACX compliant track. We just use Audacity's mix, rendered to a new track. ACX check reveals compliance, but we see that the overall RMS is still a bit higher than we would like. That's why we did the mid last, so a simple undo will let us adjust it again by about another 2 dB, reaching minus 7.33.
While waiting for the final result here, Mark and I want to thank you for taking the time to join us.
Now we see that we have reached an overall RMS of minus 20.38 dB, and though we could iterate once more, I'll accept that. Precision and linearity are the keys. The resultant track sounds right and is right. I want to be clear that WaveParse is a tool and has a learning curve and best practices. If misused, it can have bad results. And as with any procedure, there's the silk purse proverb. It's always better to start with a reasonably well-done recording. In the next videos, I'll discuss how to get headroom when the mid has to be turned up instead of down. I'll talk about the 4 additional WaveParse core functions. 2 of them assist in track repair. One delivers statistics for a track, somewhat like ACX check, only with much more detail. And the last permits an A/B audit between 2 tracks, as in before and after, or comparing the results of 2 different solutions. Please watch these videos. That's all for now.